Okay. Now I go to from beginning. Haha, I got it this time. Welcome to Healers Enlightened Network. This is webinar 114, and we are delighted today to be blessed with the reflexologist, Martina Parker from Ireland. We are very blessed to have her with us. And the theme for this month, of course, is hands-on care. So last webinar, we had hands-on care with our beautiful animals. Now, Martina's going to teach us a little bit something different with reflexology, as a lot of people don't realize the benefits of what reflexology can actually do for us. Let me get her slides up here. And here we go. Martina, thank you so much for being with us.
It's my pleasure.
Now you let me know where you want me to let this go up. Go up.
Okay.
Up. Slideshow from beginning. Okay.
Okay. So
there we go.
That's just my. So it's setting the theme straight away with the lovely candles. I love to have candles burning when I'm having treatments.
Do you find it more relaxing for the people having the treatment to have the candles and the smell and the aroma?
What I tend to do is, it depends on the person. So I'm a little bit wary about having too strongly scented candles.
Okay.
Because some people are a bit sensitive to smell. And smell is one of our strongest senses. It's actually 10,000 times stronger than any of our other senses. So I'm just a bit wary about perfumed candles. So I just have ordinary candles burning, and then I do burn incense oil. Now
beautiful.
I only burn the oils that are pure, because a lot of people don't realize essential oils. I use doTERRA. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. It's it's an American company. So I do use the doTERRA oils because they are pure. They're higher than organic. So there's no nasty chemicals in those, and I would burn those in the background.
Oh, beautiful. Now, how do you burn them in the background?
Well, what I can do is I have a diffuser.
Oh, okay.
So you just put a couple of oils. Now I don't know if you can see. Can you see this?
Yes.
I could just see it. So this is wild orange. So I would just put a couple of drops of wild orange into the diffuser and add some water. And then you can actually light a candle underneath and burn the oils, or else the diffuser itself will actually, with the water, it will evaporate. So you just get this very, very subtle smell in the background. And there's amazing beneficial emotional benefits to these oils. So
right. Now,
people don't even know it, that they're getting emotional benefits from the smells, even, you know.
Right.
So
now, do you find it to be healthier for them to burn them?
To be honest with you, with regards to those oils, because they're so pure and you only have some water, it doesn't. You can apply them. They're very good. They're good for even sensitive skin, or the burning in the background. Why I like burning in the background is everybody benefits. So I have 4 boys and my husband in the background, and they don't even know. They're just smelling these nice smells. They don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah. So it's very beneficial for everybody, you know.
Beautiful.
And if you diffuse them in the background for 1 hour, it stays in the air for 2 hours. So it's
beautiful.
You know, yeah. So
okay.
Yeah. So, and the clients love them, and So I do avoid scented candles, but I use those oils.
I think we all use essential oils, I believe.
Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised. Some people don't know anything about it.
Yes, they don't.
It depends the circles you move in, Cynthia.
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah.
Are you ready for the next one?
Yes, please.
Let's see. Yay, I did it. Yay. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Fantastic. So, as you know, my name is Martina Parker, and I have been practicing reflexology for 20 years. I'm also a Reiki master. I actually specialized in some postgrad reflexology for fertility, pregnancy, and postnatal techniques. And I also did some cancer care reflexology. They were just post-grad reflexology I did. And really my aim and passion, like you mentioned, Cynthia, I love teaching. I love teaching and empowering people, because I would really love people to be able to use reflexology in their own homes.
Right.
And on themselves, on their families, on their friends.
Yes.
And they're very powerful, but very simple. And that's really where I would like to go with my reflexology. Okay, so my story, because Cynthia, you sent through some questions that people were interested in asking. So they just asked my background and my story. So my story was simply, I just started reading an article on reflexology in the 90s. And it just blew my mind. I just went, oh my goodness, I can't believe this, what I'm reading. And at the time, it was foot reflexology I was reading about. So I really didn't know anything about hand reflexology, facial reflexology, ear. I didn't know any of those. So it was just foot. And it just resonated with me. And I thought, God, that's lovely and it's fantastic. And I'd love to know more about that. But I kind of just put it to one side. And then in 2000, I decided, gosh, I really think I'd like to learn how to do reflexology on a professional basis. So I decided, yeah, I'm going to do it. And at the time in Ireland, reflexology really wasn't heard of. It wasn't, nobody really knew about reflexology. So I was living in a place called Limerick, which is kind of down south of Ireland. And I was so blessed. I actually found a reflexologist, a teaching reflexologist in Limerick, which was,
wow, of all places.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. So random. I was definitely meant to do it. And then when she trained, she had to go to London to get her training. So I was so lucky to be able to do it in Limerick.
Oh, you were.
Yeah. So then once I started doing that, at the time, this is my story, I was actually having treatment for a condition called endometriosis. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but the way it works is it can affect your fertility. And because I was only in my 20s, I really wasn't focusing too much on it. It was more that it was painful. I was having painful periods every month. So I just needed to get it checked out. But I kind of put it to one side and didn't think about it. So I'm going on to the next slide, Cynthia. And the other thing that had affected me was my kidney infections. Again, they were just kind of continuous. I was having them all the time. Part of the training with reflexology is that you practice on each other. So students would practice. So you would be kind of nearly a case study for the other students. So after about 2 months, I realized I actually wasn't having kidney infections anymore. And it was just kind of out of the blue. I hadn't noticed. It was very subtle. And I was like, oh. And the only thing I had done differently was reflexology. Because what was happening with the kidney infections for me was I was going to the doctor. I was getting antibiotics. And the antibiotic would work for maybe a week or two. But they'd come back again. And I'd have to go back again. And I knew antibiotics on an ongoing basis like that wasn't doing my body good.
Right.
So after the 2 months, I wasn't getting kidney infections. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. So I was like, that's my first kind of like breakthrough with reflexology. So I was like, wow.
There's your sign, wasn't it?
Absolutely. So I was so blown away by this. So then the next thing was I was doing my own case studies and I was having my breakthroughs with different people. My sister was getting throat infections on a regular basis, and all of a sudden she wasn't getting her throat infection.
Awesome.
Yes. And another client came to me and she was working in a lab and she had her hands were sweating profusely all the time. She was so self-conscious. And she came to me, and because I was a student, I was kind of going, well, I'll take it as a case study, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. After 3 weeks, her hands stopped sweating. It was phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yeah, she was blown away. I was blown away.
I bet.
Yeah. And she was so excited because of her work, she had to have, it was pristine conditions. So she was just so self-conscious and she was just blown away. So they were just those success stories throughout my training just. And then I qualified after a year. It took me a year to qualify because you do a lot of casework. You do the anatomy and physiology is up to quite a high standard. So that is a tricky part of the course. And, that entailed a good bit of study. But after a year, I qualified and I was so proud of myself.
Yay.
And a month after I qualified, I found out I was pregnant.
Oh, how beautiful.
Yes. So my endometriosis was gone.
No more.
No more.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah. So I have 4 boys now, but that's kind of why I branched into my fertility and pregnancy, and because it kind of resonated with me, because so many people are having such difficulty now with fertility. It's just huge. I don't know if it's the same in the States, but here in Ireland, we're having just IVF, or so common now.
Right, it is.
And so many people are coming to me. Just it's like a support. Even the doctors are recommending reflexology, which is a huge breakthrough.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's not normal.
They're even saying, it depends on the doctor now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but what they're saying, as a support, do come and have some reflexology.
Beautiful.
Yeah, which is fabulous, because IVF can be very tough.
It can.
Yeah, can be very tough. So that was my story. So I was blown away with. Yeah. So I think I'm gone on to the next slide there. I'm just having a look.
Okay.
I think I am.
Oh, yep. Okay. Your training.
Yeah. My training involved having treatments. I kind of went through it, and I felt so much better than I had done in ages. And part of the reflexology training study and that. Yeah, I've gone through that. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah. Okay.
Fertility, and that's why you did that.
I did that, and I went through. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Now, what was it like in the cancer care? Was it just for relaxation, or was it for actual healing?
Well, to be honest with you, we still haven't progressed that far. So it's more a support, and actually support for carers too, because sometimes they can be very much overlooked.
Oh, yes.
So so that's the lovely part of it. Unfortunately, my own mum passed away from cancer.
Oh, we're sorry.
Yeah, back in 2007. So she got ovarian cancer. And when she was diagnosed, it was very advanced. So, but she got such joy from my treatments. That's why I went with my heart, and I said, I really want to know more about treating with reflexology. So it is on a support basis, but I believe it's more than that myself, but you can't say that.
Right.
You can't say that.
And don't you feel also that it just not the support, but be able to have that human touch?
Absolutely. But that's the whole thing, because my mom felt so good when I gave her hand reflexology, if she was feeling, she'd always say, well, would I have a treatment? And and she just loved it so much.
That is so lucky.
Yeah, so lucky. And so many people, it's that, like you said, it's that connection. It's that energy exchange with somebody, and even what I found with Mom is she didn't want people to just keep mentioning cancer. She wanted just to be treated, just
as
treated.
A person. Just love me. Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Treat it. Just treat me and make me feel so good. And that's exactly what reflexology does. It makes you feel so good. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. The history of reflexology.
History of reflexology and how far back it actually goes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we have actual documented drawings on the pyramids in Egypt of people giving each other reflexology, which is mind-blowing. It goes back over 2,000 years BC. And it's on the walls. So it's just mind-blowing that it's going back that far.
Yes.
They did it has been suggested it was in China 5,000 BC. But really,
BC.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. So
Ooh,
basically, it's been around such a long time. And the
that's
reason it's been
forever.
around such a long time is because it's so powerful. It's just
Yes.
so powerful and it is so effective.
Well,
Um,
remember that in ancient times of how they looked at health and how we look at health now is totally different. They looked at the body as a whole and
yeah,
treated it as a whole, where now they treat it bit by bit. And they could tell, for say, if somebody was having a lot of grief, that their lungs would constantly be in trouble,
mm-hmm,
or
mm-hmm.
fear, how their kidneys would be in trouble if they lived a life of fear,
Yeah,
or a life of anger would make, their liver have trouble, their gallbladder.
the
And they
gallbladder.
realized that way back then, if we would have just kept on that
I
momentum
know.
all the way through, we
Yeah.
may be way farther than what we are now
Yes,
in the world of health.
absolutely. I think we are coming back to that though.
Mhm.
It's phenomenal the amount of people that are coming to me just in even the last year. I think there's been a huge wake up call.
Good.
So it's fantastic just to see it. And I think there are more and more people interested in holistic.
Oh,
Um,
amen. I believe so too.
yeah, so I think we're doing full circle, and it's not not before time, as they say, not
No,
before time.
no, no.
Yeah, as you said, it's such like we have made such advances in medicine, and it's amazing. But like to treat a body as a whole it doesn't make sense,
Right.
because everything has a knock-on effect on something else. So you
Mhm.
just need to treat, and that's where we have that lovely holistic therapy name, because holistic therapy in itself is whole, treating the
Right.
body as a whole. So
Right.
that's exactly what we're doing. And so it's fabulous to
Amen.
describe it as that. Yeah.
Amen.
Yes. So in the 14th century, reflexology was already applied widespread through Europe with an earlier name called zone therapy.
Oh, be doggone. I have heard of zone therapy, but I never
Mm.
put the
Connection. Yeah.
two
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So then in the 19th century, Dr. William Fitzgerald, he was an American doctor. They discovered that by using zone therapy and applying pressure to reflex points in the foot or the hands, they could use surgery on a patient without that patient feeling pain.
Lord.
These findings were published in medical journals in the 1800s, which was mind blowing considering
It is.
anesthetic was not widely used then. So
No.
to make this breakthrough was amazing, and then to have them published in the medical journals was just,
Yes.
that was revolutionary.
Yes.
So then Dr. Fitzgerald taught his wife and his assistant, a lady called Eunice Ingham, about reflexology. And this lady is the lady who brought reflexology to the masses. She was amazing. She took her work around America because she
Oh,
wanted to show the general
every
population how to do it. A fabulous lady, a fabulous lady. So then the techniques that I actually use now are known as classical training, and these are based on Eunice Ingham's teachings.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so it's fabulous to think that it's going back to
Oh,
her teaching,
it is
yeah,
full
fabulous.
turnabout, full
Yeah,
turnabout.
full turnabout. And what I haven't written there was poor Eunice Ingham, because she was having such breakthroughs. I don't know if the medical profession was starting to find it a bit of a threat. So they did try to discredit her, and they
Mhm.
tried to bring her up in court. But she was the lady coming in her 80s at that stage.
Uh-huh.
So they withdrew the charges, but they were actually trying to bring her up on charges to say,
That is so sad. That is so
it's
sad.
so sad, but she still has, she's a lovely legacy. She's a lovely legacy. So I'm sure that's just overlooked at this stage now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So how does reflexology work? Okay. So this is going back to the zone therapy. So the body is divided up into 10 zones.
Mm-hmm.
So these are called longitudinal zones, and they stretch from each of the toes. So you go, there's a meridian line going right through the middle of our body, and either side is 5 zones. And then it's a lovely way to look at it because we're looking at the 5 toes as the 5 zones. So it's easy to look at it. And then the way it works is from the top down. So we're looking at the toes are the head, the sinuses, the face, and then you're moving down the chest, the tummy, down the way, your legs, your ankles, your feet. So it's just following your body down. So it's easy to remember it that way.
So when you work on it as a zone, do you go from 1 and go to the end and then come back up to 2 and go to the end, or you work each zone individually?
Well, what I do is in the beginning, what I do at the beginning of every session of reflexology is a relaxation. So that just brings your body down. And then it's like once your body relaxes, that's when the healing starts. Right. So when I'm doing that, I do work the 5 zones. So I go down the zones, but I do it kind of with the knuckle of my hand like that. I go down.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're kind of going like that. And then you're doing a little bit of light massage on the feet. So you're just kind of getting the body down to relax. Okay. A lot of people I treat fall asleep after the first 10 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
They're gone to sleep. Yeah. So they've relaxed. And once they go into that relaxation mode, that's when the real healing takes place. So it's lovely to see it. I was talking to somebody else the other day, and I just mentioned what I did notice was men are much more relaxed to start off than women. You would see the difference. I don't know what it is. Men just go to sleep nearly as soon as you touch their feet. Women might hold off for the second or third treatment before they go off to sleep. They just take a little while to let the barriers down. But that's okay. That's okay.
Right. Yes, it is.
It's just it's an interesting observation. I did notice. Yeah.
Yes, that's beautiful. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have the meridians of the body. So these are the zones that are going down. So we have the meridians going down the middle of the body, and they go down the hand as well. So you can see in this simple diagram, the face, you can see the face have the 10 zones. And then you can see going all the way down the body, down to the toes. And then you can also see the way it's divided in the arms. So they're all the zones. But it's all 5 and 5 each side, and then 5 and 5 each side. So they're the zones. That's how you break up the body.
By the governing meridian, you break it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Let me go on to the next.
Yeah. Now, so then we talk about energy, because our body is all energy. Every cell of our body is energy. We've got a halo of energy around us. And this goes round in a circle. It's like it goes around the whole body, like a little halo. It was actually photographed in the 1930s where you could actually see it. And this energy is called chi. Right. So when we're born, we have this chi flowing freely right around our bodies, flowing away. But just throughout our lives, whatever happens, small little chinks start to knock out of our chi. And so it's going around our body, but it's kind of getting stuck sometimes. So it's kind of going around, and there's a little chink maybe on our neck, gets stuck there, and then it goes down to our elbow, may get stuck there, tiny little bit. And bit by bit, if we don't deal with those little chinks, if we don't address those little energy blockages, this is what leads to pains and aches.
Lots of pains and aches.
That's it, exactly. Yeah. So basically, how does reflexology work? Well, the body is reflected in miniature in the hand and in the foot. Now, what's mind-blowing to me is I have a little hiatus hernia at the top of my tummy here. It's just like a little bulge, but it's not painful or anything like that. On my foot, I can feel that. I can actually feel that little hernia. So that just shows you, I don't know how it works, but you can actually feel, you can feel it.
Right.
So by applying pressure on certain reflex points on the hands and the feet, you can release the energy blocks that I just spoke about, which clears the chi running around the body. And then this chi is it's an invisible energy field contained in every cell of our body. What might start off as a tiny blockage can grow and grow if untreated over a period of time. And this can lead to the physical manifestation within the body. This is when your body is telling you, hello, I'm sending you messages saying you need to address this. But if you're not going to listen to me, here's a pain. Oh, now you will. Now we'll address it. Yes. So a blockage can be felt by professional reflexologists. And often there is tenderness felt by those getting the reflexology where the blockage is present. So you might have a little, you know, when you're treating somebody, you just watch, and if somebody flinches or if you go, that's a bit sore, it's usually that's where that area is there's a little bit of an area we need to work a little bit onto. So, yeah. Okay. So who can have reflexology? Absolutely everybody can have reflexology. Everybody. It's a very, very gentle therapy. With regards certain conditions, like after surgery, or if somebody was diabetic, like their feet, you have to be a little bit more gentle. Obviously, if somebody's pregnant, you have to avoid certain areas. You know, so you do have a little bit of, you know, where you have to be a bit cautious, but everybody can have reflexology. So once you're going to somebody who's professional, you know, they're qualified to do it, there's no worries, you know, and it's so enjoyable. As I say, I was saying to you earlier, my sons have grown up with it, so they absolutely adore it. My husband, he just lies down on the couch, and I just do a bit, and he's gone to sleep straight away. So it's it's great. Sometimes it's great. I put him to sleep, then I can watch whatever show I want to watch. Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. I'll remember that.
Do. Yes, absolutely. So, so what are the benefits of reflexology? Well, I think I kind of touched on a few of the benefits of reflexology just earlier, but just to give you a few, it gives the recipient a feeling of well-being, and it reduces stress. Stress is massive. I don't think people realize the impact that stress has on the body. It is so toxic for us. It's just terrible. So reducing stress is massive. Then it also improves circulation, and it encourages the elimination of toxins. So when I would give a reflexology session, I would always encourage people to drink lots of water afterwards, because you're helping to flush the toxins out of the body, and that's just lovely, you know. It helps to reduce pain and inflammation. As I said earlier on, Dr. Fitzgerald discovered that back in the 1800s. It empowers the giver and the receiver. And how it's empowering for both is that there's a lovely energy exchange. It's a fabulous experience. It's just relaxing for somebody giving the treatment, and it's so relaxing the person receiving the treatment. So there's a lovely energy exchange, and there's a connection. It's lovely. And then it's also non-invasive. So what I mean about non-invasive is that where you're experiencing the pain, like a pain in your back, or you could have pain in your elbow, you're not touching that place. You're touching the point on your foot or your hand corresponding to that. Therefore, you can just work away on it, and it's not painful for the person. That's a real benefit, particularly if there's a lot of pain, where people don't want to let go. You're working on the foot, and it's every bit as effective, but you're not pressing on that painful point, which is lovely.
So in other words, it's kind of an acupressure point on the end of that foot. Doing reflexology, you're really hitting acupressure points.
You're hitting the points, the reflex points is what we call them. Yeah, so the reflex points. And you're working on that foot, and you can give pain relief from a distance, which is fabulous. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
So how often can you have reflexology? Well, that depends. It depends on the person. Normally, you would be given weekly appointments. When you come first, usually when somebody comes to you, they're coming because, oh, well, it could be anything, but they probably come with something physical. If they're not
Mm-hmm.
tuned into themselves, they'll be coming with something physical. So it would take you a few weeks for you to try and work through. So depending on the client, this would be ascertained during the initial consultation, because you have, when I would book a new client, I would always give maybe an extra 30 or 40 minutes, because I really want to get to know that person. I want to
Mm-hmm.
know, what medications they're taking. I want to know, their background. I want to know their lifestyle. You really are getting to know the person so that they are going to get the best benefit out of your reflexology
Mm-hmm.
time. So the first appointment would involve extra time, like I said there. And normal treatment would take 40 to 45 minutes. That's what I would do. And then weekly treatments are recommended, but some might need bi-weekly, depending if it's quite acute.
Mm-hmm.
You would treat somebody, like I had somebody with an allergic reaction. So she had lots of swelling, lots of rash. And because it was acute, I treated her bi-weekly, and there was, oh my God, dramatic improvement in her. Her swelling went down after the first treatment, the rash disappeared. She felt so much
Oh,
better.
that's great.
Yeah. So depending on what they're presenting with, you would ascertain
Mm-hmm.
what it was. And then if I thought somebody might have lots of toxicity built up, I might say every 2 weeks, just for the first little while, because we don't want to release too much toxins into a
Right.
body who already has a lot of toxins.
Right.
So you just, through talking to them, you'd establish what will be best.
Okay. Now, when you do reflexology, do you use just lotion or do you use oils on their skin?
Depending on the foot. Now, I was trained not using anything, so it was
Oh,
just the
okay.
foot. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the way I was trained. And by doing that, you really get kind of the raw picture of the foot, because
Okay.
everything that's on that foot is a telltale sign of something.
Mm-hmm.
So if the foot is very dehydrated, for example, your foot will be very dry. So if you start adding stuff, sometimes that's hidden or masked.
Oh, I
So
see. Mm-hmm.
it just depends. You would really have a good look at the foot is first. Now, I do,
Okay.
again, I have started using a little bit of the doTERRA oils. I do
Mm-hmm.
use a little bit of, I always use organic products. I never use anything except organic or
Mm-hmm.
very high grade, like the doTERRA. And people do like it. It's like, it's a kind of an extra benefit to, I think people like
Mm-hmm.
it. So that's why I would use it.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been, as I said, I was trained on just the actual foot, and
Okay.
it can tell a good tale sometimes.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So just how often to have reflexology? Some people have chronic conditions would need more regular treatment. Yeah. And then all is perfectly fine. It's tailored to the person. Yeah. No two people are different. Or no two people are the
Just the
same.
same.
That's it. So I love that aspect of holistic therapies as well, because no two people are the same.
No.
No two people are the same. So you really are being treated as an individual. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to say this is for you and that's same for such a one and same for such. You're giving that person their unique treatment, and
Right.
they deserve that.
Right. Right.
Yeah. And I just put a little thing there with the grass,
Whoop.
because I
Is
love
there a
that little thing.
graph here? Oh, with this,
Let's
this right
see the
here.
grass,
Okay.
because
Yes.
that's a reminder of, if you are feeling, God, overwhelmed, the lovely thing to do is take your socks and shoes off, go out to the grass, and you just walk around that grass for 4 or 5 minutes, and you will feel like a different person. It's
You will.
very grounding. It's like a charge for a person. So it's like your mobile phone gets a charge when you charge it, but you are
Good
earthing
charge.
yourself, you're grounding
Yes.
yourself, you're charging yourself. Go out into that grass. I've
Right.
gone out, we get lots of rain. I'm in Galway, so we get lots of rain here. I've gone out in the muddy grass, and I've just walked around in the grass. So, and it does me the world of good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So how does the body work? Okay, so the body works, and people don't realize this. Emotion drives the physical,
Mm-hmm.
simply put. Whatever happens in your body physically has a very high percentage. Example, 90% plus chance of originating in your mind or your mood.
Mm-hmm.
And then through continuous focus, a lot of which is subconscious, which we're completely unaware of, through stress, worry, and anxiety, it results in aches, pain, and if not cleared, eventually dis-ease. Or if you
Mm-hmm.
break that word down, where the body is not at ease.
Right.
And
Right.
through reflexology, the stress and worry anxiety is greatly reduced and eventually eliminated if you continue to practice. Because when I have a client, I always talk about, I don't know if you do gratitude or give gratitude. I always, it's never just a reflexology treatment. I always go for the overall picture. And it's about, I suppose, giving gratitude for what you have,
Right.
being grateful, embracing what you have, and accepting your circumstances as they are.
Right.
But being grateful for them, even though they may not seem ideal, just be grateful for them, and that will move on.
Yes, it will.
It switches you up. So I would always talk about that during my treatments too.
That's good. That's good. Because most people have that negative kind of mind where it's hard to get out of where their story is leading them.
Yeah. And it can be hard. It can be hard to kind of shake yourself up if you're not feeling good.
Right.
But you know, when you do start expressing gratitude, it does subtly change.
It does.
Just like holistic therapy, it's very subtle, but it changes. You know.
It does. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Stress and how it impacts us. So, actual physical pain, where the body identifies physically with the energy blockages. So you could go, oh God, terrible pain in my neck, or my shoulder. We registered the physical pain, and that's a strong message from your body to listen and address this issue or issues. So you can, how it impacts the body is your hands can start sweating, your heart can start racing, you may feel nauseous. These are usually temporary, but again, can increase if emotional connection is not addressed.
Right.
Okay. And then you can have no sleep, broken sleep, feeling exhausted even after sleep. These are all signs that your body is stressed, you're stressed.
Right.
And then you can have digestive issues such as bloating, IBS, constipation.
Right.
And then you can have your mind racing, you're unable to focus, you can have depression and anxiety. So they're all indicators that stress is going on here and I need to address it, you know? Yeah.
That's why we enjoy taking the trapped emotions or the emotional resonance or the imbalances they're at, they're emotional, to get that out of the way and then see what's underneath.
Exactly. So how to address stress? Identify the triggers by becoming aware. So awareness is key. Once you're aware of something, you can change it. Like, is it a situation? Is it a person? Is it a place? And make a list if you have to, but just become aware. And then take some action to deal with this. How? Self-care. And that's where reflexology comes in, for example. But even going for a walk in nature, even turning on your favorite song, you know, just switching your focus, just even for a few minutes. And self-care is completely necessary every single day. It doesn't have to take long, but it needs to be done daily. And you commit to it every single day. Morning first thing is a fabulous time to do it, and last thing at night. Because whenever, if you're falling asleep and your subconscious is having something not so great going on, that goes into your subconscious. So you probably have remnants of that in the morning. So try, if you can, again, about the gratitude, say 3 things that you're grateful for. I do that with my kids. I've done it for years with my kids. Just before they fall asleep. They're teenagers now, so they're not too impressed, but they still do it.
I bet they still do it in their minds, and Mom doesn't know.
They actually say that to me. I've done it, Mom. I've done it.
Yeah. Leave me alone. Don't ask me again.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's it.
Kids.
Okay. So now, this is down to brass tacks. Here we have it now. So we can see in our hands, the left and the right palm. So you can see where the eyes I loved this because it's quite there's lots of the little symbols, so you can see quite clearly. So you can see on your thumb, that's your head. So your brain is here on the pad of your thumb. There it is. And then your spine, and now it doesn't show it on that, but your spine is actually running down from your head. It's a very, very important point. I always spend a good bit of time on the spine. because your spine is sending messages all around your body. So you need to mind your spine.
Okay.
So then we have certain organs that would be on one hand that wouldn't be on the other. So the liver lies to the right. So that's on your right hand. And then your heart is on the left. It'll be lying to the left. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your heart, they're important. And then you have the spleen and the pancreas. They're also, well, the pancreas is kind of going on both sides, but the spleen is on, again, it's on the left side of your body. Okay. So then I think I have a few of just to show.
Yes,
there's more detailed ones there. You see, you can see the spine on the thumb. It's going down here. And you can see the uterus and the fallopian tubes are down here. It's a little one I show people if they have PMS. Very subtle. You might be feeling, oh God, I've got, aches and pains. I'm getting hot flashes. It's a lovely one to use, and it's very subtle. That's why I love hand reflexology, because it's so accessible and it's so subtle.
Right. Now, do you ever massage on the back of the hands too?
Yes. Back here you have the lymphatics.
That's what I thought. I couldn't remember if that's where they were.
That's here. And in between is where the lymphatics are. So you see the way you have the bones of your hand. So in between those are the lymphatics. And if you actually have sinus, when you press that down, you could almost you could almost feel it starting to drain. Yeah.
Yes, I've got big lumps in between mine. I have for a few months.
Yeah. And that's because the glands probably are up. That's probably, it's fighting something. So that's why you're feeling that. Yeah.
It's been amazing to keep pushing. It's like, okay, when's the runny nose going to stop?
Yeah.
That's a good thing for it to run.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Because it's clearing. It might be annoying, but it's clearing. It's doing what it should do, So that's the hand reflexology. I've gone into, there's a few different things. You can see how complex it is.
So, it is. Yes. That's like the chart that I have.
Yeah. So, but it can be with woo. Whereas the first one, you can see where the eyes are, you can see where the ears are, it's for the simple techniques,
Right.
But that just shows you that's a professional reflexologist would be looking at now. So,
I love that chart. That's very pretty.
It's fab, isn't it? It's really nice. It shows you where everything is, like, now sometimes there's a slight variation in charts, but don't worry about that. Everything is in and around, where.
And if and if anybody were just to, just start by massaging on their hands, just start slow. Don't make yourself sore. Lord have mercy, because you can surely get sore.
Gentle.
Just gentle love. And if you start on it slowly and then start on your feet and see the difference in you don't have to be certified, do you, to be able to work on your family and your loved ones? And
not at all. And that's where I am coming from. I want to show people that this can be done to yourself, to your family, to your friends. And it's fabulous,
Yes.
So now here we are onto the feet. So we have the same chart again. It's showing you the eyes. So the eyes are the two first toes after the big toe. The big toe is the head. The big toe is always, you do a good bit of work on the big toe because you've got the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus, and the pineal gland on the head. So you do a little bit of work on that.
Let me ask, if I may, within the brain area, does it, in my reflexology book's about 30 years old, and it shows the axis and the atlas at the toe also. And it has to do with our distortion of our energy, the magnetic field.
I've never heard of that now. I have never heard of that, Cynthia. And it's interesting that 30-year-olds, the book that I have, this one here, that's 20 years old. I've yet to find a book as good as that. I haven't either. Those older books are full of information. And just any of the newer books, they seem to be a little bit more watered down and not as informative. Right. So I've never heard of that, but I must look it up and find out, Cynthia. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. So the eyes are just under the first two toes, and then the ears at the end. So often people have ear infections and they can feel tenderness, and you can feel kind of popping when you're working on people that have had ear infections quite a bit. So you'd work a little bit
into here. You can even feel it.
You can, exactly. Yes, absolutely, you can.
And it's all right to pop those. It's not going to cause any damage
It's perfect. But you see, the ear is so tiny. I haven't done ear reflexology now, but there are miniature points on every part of your ear as well. And if you think about it, you often would self-soothe by pressing on your ear. So we're doing those little things and we don't even know we're doing it because we're instinctively doing it.
Right. Yeah. And that's what's amazing, that we were built
that is so
beautiful. That
absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see, this is covering this up.
It is.
See which way we're going to go. We're going to go the right way. Did we go the right way? Okay.
Yes, we have. So this is the foot detail chart. So this is what I would be looking at when I'm doing, you know, a treatment. I'll be doing this, so that, you know, lots of different areas and points. But it's just, so even though I've been doing it for 20 years, I still find it mind blowing, you know.
Oh, it is.
So amazing. Yeah. Yeah. So.
Okay. I think everybody can benefit, and let's keep our fingers crossed, ladies. It worked last night. Let's see if it'll work today.
Yeah.
She has, Martina has a YouTube video for us. Oh, it's going to come up for us to watch. It took forever to get this to work last night.
I'm so sorry about that.
Oh, that's quite all right. Ooh, yes. It's loud. Okay. Ooh, it's loud on the outside.
Is it? You can probably adjust the
yes.
I can't see it yet, Cynthia. I don't know if it's.
Oh, you can't see it? Can anybody see it? Oh, then maybe it won't let anybody see it.
Yeah, don't worry about it anyhow. I think.
Okay.
To be honest with you, all I really wanted to do was kind of just give a.
There we go. Oh, it didn't stop though. Listen, it didn't stop. Let me go back out and find her.
Yeah.
Where's she at? Oh, it won't let me go back in. There we go. Let me stop her. Doggone.
There she is.
There can you see her now? Can you see her now?
I can see her now.
Oh, well, praise God.
I can't hear her though. I don't know if everybody can hear her.
Can anybody hear her?
I can.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah.
If
it, as I say, I was only really kind of given an idea of what the reflexology looks like, having to done. And this is, she's doing her foot.
Right.
So to do your feet, it is possible for basic stuff, but some people would find mobility wise, they find it hard to get to their foot. So it just depends on the person. So that's why I'm a fan of hand reflexology as well, because for self-treating, because it is so accessible to most people.
And when you work with little babies, do you start with their little feetsies or with their little hands?
Well, I use their feet. Yeah, I do. I use with babies their feet, and they're so good. I mean, it's amazing. And you know, showing mums how to do stuff with babies, it's just phenomenal, because lots of babies get little tummy aches and pains.
Oh yes, and if we could do it through that, that's why we love doing what we do, because we can, you know, take away stuff and make people's body with wellness within minutes. But this is another way that we can add to that wellness as we're working on them and pulling it out of them as we're working on them.
Yeah.
If we ever get our own little, you know, shops or things going to where we can incorporate everything.
That's it, exactly. But it's all about, I think, empowering people, because sometimes when a little baby is crying and you feel so helpless, I know, you know, that's the bottom line. You want to be able to soothe your baby, and it's such a fabulous way to do it, and it's so effective. And it's just simple techniques. I actually had a simple one of the simple techniques towards the end of my presentation there, Cynthia, just to show you how to treat tummies and headaches and stuff.
Why that didn't.
So you could actually see it.
Let's see. Let's see if it'll let me go down.
Yeah, if you just scroll down. Yeah.
There's the feet, Hans.
You've gone past that,
Hans.
And then the YouTube, and there we go.
Oh, okay. We didn't go all the way through.
No.
Okay.
Well, I mentioned the essential oils because somebody asked me about the essential oils that I use. So I did say doTERRA.
Switch
And
through
I
these
did,
real quick, like, so we can
yeah,
get the full effect.
yeah. So there's
There we go.
lavender,
Whoops.
lavender, wild orange. Lavender, I just speak about lavender. I'll be honest, the last 2 days I had to go to lavender because I burnt myself in the cooker. I was cooking some meals and I just caught, you know, something, and I just went straight to the lavender and it eased it straight
Oh,
away.
yes.
It's amazing.
Yes.
People don't realize the full benefits of lavender. And I said,
Mm-mm.
these oils are pure, so you know that
Right.
there's no chemicals.
Right.
So it's very good. It's a natural antihistamine. So it's really good for insect bites, itching, poison ivy. It's very good for calming, sleeplessness, and insect repellent. And then the emotional benefits is it's the peace of mind you use. It's an open communication and honesty, and it clears fear of rejection, insecurity, feeling unloved and unheard. So lavender has such amazing benefits.
Right. I think I think I use lavender in my house every day. What about you ladies? Yeah. That is a
Yeah.
big seller. I don't use as much wild orange.
Yeah. But you know what? I love wild orange because it has so many benefits that you wouldn't know. Some people don't like the smell of lavender. I've had people go, oh, I don't like the smell of lavender. And I don't understand that myself because I love it so much.
Right.
But this is actually, the wild orange is fabulous for sleep.
Yes.
It's really good for sleep. So it's lovely to diffuse it and maybe an hour before you go to bed. It's lovely. It smells nice. It's a mood booster. So it can, if you know, if you're feeling a bit down during the day, you can actually, but then it acts as a sedative at night, which is amazing. And it's great for your skin. So I'd often add a couple of drops of that to my moisturizer. Yeah. So it's fabulous. Antioxidant properties in it.
Right.
Lovely.
Right.
And then the emotional benefits of the wild orange, it's a mood booster and brings forth your sense of humor. Lovely. Creativeness, and it clears rigidity, it clears lethargy, envy, and hoarding. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Hoarding.
nice.
Wow. Wow. And there's our lovely peppermint. We love peppermint.
Peppermint is fabulous. I mean, lavender and peppermint, you kind of have everything covered nearly with it. But yeah, so the peppermint is very good for your digestion, really good for your respiratory system, great for pain relief. It's very uplifting in water. And I think the amazing fact is that 1 drop of this peppermint is worth 28 cups of peppermint tea. It's amazing. That's an amazing fact. Yeah, so your emotional well-being is it when you diffuse it, it actually gives you a little boost. It's uplifting.
I do that.
Yeah, it's the oil of the buoyant heart for optimism, strength to face emotional pain, which is lovely. Then it clears intense despair, heavy-heartedness, pessimism, and sadness. So
and it really also works. It works great on headaches too.
Yes, it's great pain relief. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Neck relief.
Fantastic.
And rubbed on your neck. I've actually put it on neat in certain points to allow.
Same here. Yeah, exactly. It's a lovely one. Yeah. Okay. So the areas I'm going to show you how to treat, God, I can't believe how quickly the time has gone. So the areas I'm just going to briefly show you how to treat is the stomach, the back, and the spine. Do you remember I mentioned the spine is a fabulous area to treat because you're treating any of those messages coming from your spine. It's going to every part of your body. So if you're feeling back pain, you're feeling it a lot, you know, all over your body because it's sending those messages. It's the message. It's what brings the message from your brain to the rest of your body. So your spine is like a email messenger for everybody. So if your back is feeling bad, it'll be sending messages, oh, there's lots of pain. So your body will not feel good. And then the areas I'm treating are the headaches and sinus areas, the digestion, and then for stress and anxiety.
Okay.
So just go on to the next one. I think I have a slide there.
There we go.
Okay. So relax routine for all. So there we go. We can see the spine area. So the two little movements we use for hand reflexology is one is called the caterpillar movement. So you're kind of going with your thumb like that. It's like a bend of the thumb and up, bend of the thumb and up. So it's like a caterpillar walks.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what you do is you thumb walk. So you thumb walk your spine. So you could just do the caterpillar thumb walk on your spine.
Oh, wow. I got some sore spots. Ooh, doggies.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And you go You go back down.
Okay.
You know, if it's very painful, Cynthia, you know, lessen the pressure if it's very painful, because reflexology should never be painful.
Okay.
You may have tender spots, but if you find that you are feeling lots of pain, reduce that pressure. Yeah, because you don't want your reflexology to feel painful. That's not the object of the exercise. Okay. Okay, well, we'll see you really relaxed in a minute. So that's the spine, and that's a fabulous one on both sides of your hand. You know, you can do it on both sides. You know, if you're feeling a little bit of stress, you can actually work on your hand, and it's so subtle. You can do it at your desk, at work. You can be doing it on your, you know, your bus journey into work, or wherever you're going, in the car, as long as you're not driving, you know, you can be doing it, you know, but you can also do it to your loved one, your child, you know, your partner, you know, you can do that one. It's a lovely one on the spine. Okay. And when we feel stress, the most parts that people are feeling stress on a physical level is the head, the spine, the chest, and the tummy. They're the 4 areas that you'd always say, oh, God, my tummy's upset, or got a headache, pain in your back, I feel pain, and chest, where you're not breathing. You're kind of like that. You're not able to catch your breath because you're feeling stressed. Okay. So these are the areas I'm showing you. So I've shown you the spine. So go ahead, Cynthia. I'll just show you. So here we go. So the head, as I showed you, if you remember the picture, the thumb, it's up here at the top. So the nail part is your face. So then the back part then is the rest of your brain and your head. So you do the little thumb walk again. So you're just pressing on the thumb and doing a circle.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
You just do a lovely circle on your head, clockwise.
Oh, there's Petra. Okay, clockwise.
Clockwise on your thumb, and you're doing a lovely circles. So
clockwise on the nail itself.
You could do clockwise on the nail itself, and that's your face. So you're giving your little a face massage. You're giving a lovely face massage.
Wow.
You know?
Ooh. That's really strange that those areas hurt.
Yeah, but you're probably feeling a bit tender. If you're feeling a bit tender, as I say, always reduce the pressure. And then the sinus areas are up here at the top of your finger. So again, the circles on your finger, do that like that.
Okay.
And then you pull down. So you can pull down on your fingers like that. So you're draining your sinuses.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
Yeah. So you're doing the little circles. What you're doing then is kind of riling them up a little bit, just to kind of so that you're going to start moving some stuff. You do little circles on the pad of your fingers, and then you're draining. So you're draining them down the length of your finger.
Wow.
Yeah. And then what you're doing is when you get down here, you want to drain the lymph system. So you're going to pinch in between your fingers.
Oh, doggies.
Yeah. So what you're doing there is you're clearing your.
Are yours sore, Tammy? Yeah, mine are too.
Oh, okay. Well, just be gentle with yourself, you know, because you know what kind of pressure that you can tolerate. So you don't want you want the reflexology to feel nice. You don't want it to feel painful. So just pinch lightly. Okay. It's still very effective. It's still really effective because what you're doing, you're draining the sinuses. Okay.
Okay, that's a good one.
That's a nice one.
Yes, every day. That'll be done every day.
Every day, exactly, every day. And you can actually pull your fingers like this, like that, and that also helps to drain the sinuses.
Oh.
So just pull your fingers like that.
Okay, beautiful.
That's draining. It's so simple. Can you see what I mean about the lovely hand reflexology being so simple?
Yeah, it is.
So it's so nice. And you can do it on both hands and it just takes minutes and it gives you such relief. It's fabulous. Okay.
Okay, next one.
Yeah, next one. Okay. So the same for the sinuses. For me, the sinus would be affecting these areas. So people don't realize it, but the sinus would be an indication of pituitary, the sinuses, the large and small intestine, the adrenals, the lymphatic system, and the spleen. So they're the areas that professional reflexologists would be working on. Okay. And then for your headache would be your solar plexus. So the solar plexus is actually right in the middle of your hand here. Yeah. right in the middle. And that's a lovely, lovely point to press if you're feeling like, oh, I'd love a boost. I'd love a boost. Emotionally, I'd love a boost of energy. You just press gently on that. Maybe 10 times, just to give you a little boost. Again, so subtle. You could be doing this and nobody would be aware.
No. Looks like you're holding her hands.
Like, what are you doing there? I'm giving myself a boost. I'm giving myself my emotional and my physical boost.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. So that's your solar plexus. And this also this side.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. You'll be feeling great after this.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the digestion, I would be treating the liver, the stomach, the colon, the solar plexus, the head, and the esophagus and lymphatics. But for us, for hands, this is the digestive area, okay? This is the lung area. That's an area here just under the fingers. That's the lung area. And this next, you see where it's called the headline, or the kind of little natural line? From that down to probably around here, which is the next line on your hand, or just around where your thumb starts to kind of come up from your hand, just around there. That's your digestive area. That's your tummy. So you could just work across, and that's where the caterpillar comes in now. You're just going across here. Yeah. So you're just caterpillar walking across. And you're giving yourselves reflexology. That's the amazing part. Yeah. And if you do that 2 or 3 times on each side of the hand, so you're balancing both hands, you're working both sides. Because there's a physical hand is the right hand, and this is your emotional hand. So you want to always work with both to make it balanced.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh. Mine are like tingling.
Yeah, because you're giving yourself an energy boost here. You know, you're working with your energy. So then stress and anxiety. Again, I'm talking about the lungs. So the lots of lungs issue when you're having stress and anxiety, your lungs, you feel like you're not breathing. And this would be the areas I'd be treating for stress and anxiety. The anxiety, your tummy, it's a physical one. So you'd work on your tummy area there. So the areas I'm showing you are very beneficial for lots of things. So the spine, the head, the sinus area, the lung area, you can do the little, the lung area. It just helps you boost. You walk across the caterpillar, walk across just under your fingers. And that's so relaxing. That again relaxes the body. If you're feeling like I can't catch my breath, I feel like I can't relax because my breath is so shallow. You know, that's what happens. You get your shallow breathing when you're feeling stressed. Rub your hands. Do your solar plexus. Rub your spine. All hand reflexology done in a few minutes, and you're feeling better.
Beautiful.
Okay.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, so thank you to you all for listening. The time has flown. So if you have any questions at all, you can just feel free to ask, or you could message me after if you wish.
I appreciate it very much. That was very enlightening. I don't know about anybody else's hands, but my hands are hurting now.
I don't want them hurting.
I think I was pushing too hard. I've done reflexology for years, and what I do is I have a big wooden mallet kind of thing, then it's round, and
you go right for it. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to. You don't have to. All you need to be is feeling the pressure. And if you feel that you can take heavier pressure, do that. But don't make yourself feel sore. Because I remember one client came to me before and they said, I had reflexology done before. It was very painful. So no, you should always feel great after reflexology. Not sore.
I'll have to tell my mentor that, because she always worked towards pain. And I thought, wow, really? Do I have to work towards pain? This is ridiculous.
No. She probably, well, that was her teaching, but no, not for me. And yeah.
So
Yeah.
how long does it actually take to go to school to be a reflexologist?
It takes almost a year.
Almost a year.
Almost a year, yeah. So because like really a lot of that is case studies and just kind of getting to know people and dealing with different conditions. Like it was fabulous to have my varying conditions, like from my own personal experience to the lady I was just telling you, I remember so vividly that lady who had the palms that were sweating, to my sister having throat infections. I'm currently doing case study on sleep apnea, because it's becoming a lot more, I don't know, prevalent, it seems to be. So I'm just see how reflexology is going to improve that. And as I said, I had the acute condition of somebody who had a severe reaction. And you know, so it's so varied. And when you're doing your reflexology training, you try to get as many different things as you can. You know, it's fabulous. Right. So then you're kind of not just dealing with one particular issue. Yeah, so that's it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's so interesting talking to you. It's lovely talking to you.
Well, thank you so very much for coming on and have the beautiful slides and showing us everything. We appreciate your time.
Oh,
and
anytime.
we will make a video of this for it can be sent to you also.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're very much welcome. We thank you so much.
And I enjoyed it so much. And I just want, as I say, I want to thank you so much for giving me the platform to be able to speak to all of you, because it's so lovely to be able to spread the word of reflexology.
Yes, it is. It is. Every modality that we have and that is available, we're trying to get on here for everybody can make up their minds and to grow. As a team is a great practice. So if we could please, ladies, if we could just bow our head, because I forgot to bow our head when we began. I was so excited. I do that quite often here lately. If we could just bow our head and give thanks and praise. And we ask you, Father, to please come and bless each one of us. And we thank you for bringing Martina to us and her teaching us such beautiful things about reflexology. We thank you for us ladies that are here with us present today and for you to bless each one of them. We know that we are unique and you will show us our unique gifts as we progress further into our intuition. In your holy name, amen.
Amen.
Amen.